thank you for tuning in to this episode. I'm feeling especially well this morning, largely because I'm in the good company of SONJA JOHANSON, the wellness therapist, and partly because I have just put some Aspire Essential Oil Blend on.
Yeah.
It's good for the mornings. Can you tell us a little bit about what I just
about this one?
Yeah.
So well, one of the companies that I work with for product is doTERRA. They're certified pure therapeutic grade, so they're very safe to use on your skin. This is a blend that has lime, cardamom, hyssop, cedarwood, and chamomile. And it was created for one of doTERRA's conferences that they do each year. So it was a special blend only given to people that went to the conference, but recently, a few months back, they allowed for anybody to purchase it. So I was able to pick some up, so that was great.
And then I benefited. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love sharing this one with people since it's unique and you can't really get it at all. So that's it. It was a fun thing that they let us buy.
There was recently a 30-day Healthy Habits Challenge.
Oh yeah,
which relates to doTERRA.
Yes,
So what did that involve, and what does that reveal about what your wellness center does in general?
So the 30-day Healthy Habits Challenge was designed by Dr. Hill, who's one of the well, I believe he's the president, but then he's also one of the 7 owners of the company, and so. Basically, it was just daily things that you should be using, the vitamins, the Lifelong Vitality Pack, taking that every day, and that's like all of the vitamins that you need in your daily life. It's super, super amazing. And then also just oils like frankincense, which is so good for oxygenating the body. It's really good for focus and for raising your vibration, which is good for your health, and it's good for mental clarity and all of that. And then also oils like Balance, which I love. A bunch of my clients love that one. And using that on your feet every morning is really good for just keeping an even keel to the day. It just helps balance your emotions.
I understand that I and everyone should know about Deep Blue.
Yeah.
What is, I don't know about Deep Blue.
Deep Blue is amazing.
What is it?
Deep Blue is, I should have brought it with me, but I have my small purse today. But
here's a visual aid.
Perfect.
Here's Deep Blue.
Deep Blue. Deep Blue is like the best topical analgesic that I've ever used. It's it either turns hot or cold, or sometimes both, and it depends on what your body needs. So it's really nice. A lot of people ask me, like, should I use heat? And that's just an easy way to put that on. You don't really have to worry about if you use it. Using a heating pad for too long can really hurt you, actually. And a lot of people will do that when they're in pain and then end up causing more damage.
Right.
Absolutely. And I always tell people icing is like way more safe, doing 20 minutes of that on, 20 minutes off. It allows just your body to naturally flood the area with heat when you take off the ice. But the Deep Blue does a really similar thing. So I love it. That is like what gets me through. Since I'm massaging all the time, I would need a massage like every week if I didn't have that, honestly. It's so great.
So if you can't have a massage every week, then Deep Blue is the thing that you need.
It's awesome. It's so good for like chronic joint stuff too. Like anybody who has aches and pains should be using that, which is most people.
Yeah, I'm feeling some as you talk, so I think I need to get some.
Totally.
So, of course, you're a wellness therapist, but you will soon have a wellness center.
Yeah.
Okay, and we can help you.
Yes.
Yeah, in a number of ways.
Yes.
There are a series of events, 4 events, the first of which has happened.
Yes.
And if you missed it, then you're kind of witnessing it now, because I went and I took some video footage.
Yeah.
And that's just a taster of the other 3.
Yes.
Okay, so there's one at the, and this is Moon Palace. This one beautiful location here is Moon Palace.
Yeah.
And luckily, the second one is there too.
Yes.
And then there's a really exciting one at Memory Lanes. It's like a you're taking over punk rock bowling.
Yeah, and that's going to be so awesome.
Yeah.
It's such a blend, too, of different artists. We have punk, but we also have noise rap, and also like R&B. Yeah, there's going to be like a whole, and some electronic, too, with Devada Dawn and Boo Boo. It's going to be...
And new primals.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
All on a Monday night.
I know, it's...
For free.
Oh my gosh, for free. And the venue donates for every person who comes.
So it's going to help the wellness center.
Yeah, just by showing up.
Yeah, just by enjoying some punk and rap and all of it, all of the genres.
All of the genres. Yeah, there's something for everybody that night. And we're going to be having raffles at the upcoming events.
At all three?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to be doing raffles for some doTERRA products. So not this exact oil, but there will be things like Deep Blue Rub that you can get for...
If you're aching after all the
Yeah, right. Oh man, I know. I always am. I have to go on bed rest after a weekend of shows. But yeah, no. We'll be doing raffles for that, raffles for services. It should be really fun. If anybody has artwork or things that they'd like to put up for raffles, they can contact me. We'd love to have it.
Oh, excellent.
So, yeah.
How can they contact you?
Well, my email is really easy, or my website has all my contact information as well.
Okay.
So yeah, my email is just my first and last name, and the number 4@gmail.com. You can, there you go. Boom, that's all my contact info.
Saves me from having to type it in.
Yeah, right.
The final event is at Mortimer's on Sunday, July 15th.
Yeah.
Right now, we're witnessing a model, which is you.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
What is the relationship between your new project, A Model, and your work as a wellness therapist?
Yeah, well, I'm just really passionate about making people think differently, you know, and just really like sparking something in their brain that says, oh, you know, I never really thought about that, and really engaging them that way. So with that project, it's all about challenges and questions and really creating environments. It's really about creating an environment where people feel very connected and intimate to what's going on in front of them, and I want it to feel like comfortable uncomfortability, where vulnerability is really hard for a lot of people, but it's very healing, and it's actually a sign of strength and of being really in touch with who you are and being able to open up with people around you. So it's very important, and I think that is something that can really change the culture of the society that we live in. It can really change the culture of our music scene, which is, I think, really important to always be challenging those things and creating change. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So kind of creating the conditions for vulnerability.
Yes.
And a vulnerability that enables healing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you select, so the other artists that were performing a few days ago, or depends on how long it takes me to edit this, at Moon Palace, were Larry Wish, Minnie Blunts, and Lynn Avery, who were all excellent too.
Yeah.
How are you selecting the artists for these particular events?
Absolutely. So for all of them, we're really definitely putting an emphasis on booking artists and performers that are in the queer community first and foremost, and really wanting to represent people of color as well. And that wasn't really something that happened on May 26th. I mean, we were definitely like working towards that, but at the end of the day, it's also like we don't want to tokenize or you know, like necessarily like, I don't know, force that upon anyone to perform who doesn't want to. But yeah, so we really just want the crowd to feel connected to the performers. We want everyone at these events to feel like they're represented and seen and being heard and being valued. And that is a big part of my business and what I do right now. And I love that at my space that I've made currently, that it's a place where anyone can come and feel really valued and really taken care of and just given equal treatment, no matter if they are marginalized or if they can't necessarily afford to be going to some high-priced salon or spa.
Sure, yeah.
What I do is I operate on, sorry, I'm totally digressing now.
No, this is
but
great.
It just goes along
this is
with
important,
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way that my space is set up, it's a sliding scale, and so even though an hour massage is between $50 and $100, whatever that person can pay, I'm always giving the $100 service, and that's the idea behind it. Is you're always giving the top price of effort because it is so valuable, but you are not looking at a person when they come in and saying like, oh, well, this person might not be able to pay the highest price, or there's no judgment behind it. Sure. You're taking away that layer of what they're going to bring to the table and really just putting out as much effort as possible and knowing that that's making a difference for them. Yeah. And it's healing for me too. That's the thing, is when I am working, I love my job. It's and it's so rewarding to be always helping people and always
to be a healer.
Yeah, it's a rewarding thing in and of itself, and it's not about capitalism or money or gain. It's really, when you're doing what you love, that is enough right there.
It's on. So there's a Sonja Johansson wellness therapist page on Facebook. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. So that's my professional page right now for booking with me, just for massage services and Reiki and energy healing, and I do guided meditation as well.
Can you clarify what being an energy healer entails?
Oh yeah. So I do Reiki primarily, and I work on the chakra system of the body, and excuse me. And that is, it's hard to describe exactly, but basically our energetic body puts out vibration. And so when working with Reiki, you're really sending vibration and healing energy into another person, and it's flowing through you. So Reiki doesn't come from me, it comes from the source of Reiki, which is this completely limitless source of energy, and so it basically flows through my chakra system, out of my palm chakras and into another person, and having that flow through both of us is healing both of us. It's really can just bring a lot of wisdom to a person, and that's always like my intention behind it, is whatever wisdom, whatever messages, whatever healing that they need and that's going to benefit them will be sent to them during that session. So
I like that you brought up wisdom in this context, because you highlight in the mission statement that the center will be all about providing affordable healing to individuals on an emotional, physical, and spiritual level. So could you talk a bit more about the relationship between emotional, physical, and spiritual wellness?
Yeah, so that's really just another way to say mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
And really the link between the three, that's really when you are able to find some balance within yourself. When you're cultivating your emotions, that is, and really cultivating emotional balance, you're able to react to situations in a much more stable way. You're able to just approach life from a perspective where you do feel that you're not in control, but that you're capable. And that's really finding the difference between that is huge. Learning that you have no control over your life at all.
Going back to vulnerability again,
right?
Being aware that we don't.
Yeah, and to attempt that is completely futile, because life will just knock you down repeatedly, and that can be really intense to go through.
So what does it mean to be capable then?
To be capable be capable is to look at these situations that are thrown at us in our life and say, well, what can I, like, how can I approach this and at least feel at the end of the day that it's going to be okay? And that's really where the emotional balance comes into play. Physical, I mean, that speaks kind of for itself, but having massages regularly is unbelievably good for your body. And also yoga is super helpful just to help develop like full range of motion, increase your flexibility and your just feeling capable in your body again. And then the spiritual level, a lot of that really goes to the energy work and the energetic benefits of, that comes from all of the different services. And I really do feel like that's found more within a person on their own. That really, I'm not here to like preach a certain type of religion or anything like that, because spirituality really goes deeper to in yoga they call it your silent watcher, but it's like that ever-present part of you that hasn't really changed throughout your life. It was there when you were a kid, it was there when you were growing up, and it's like some people think of it as your conscious, but I really like view it as kind of this third viewer that's behind you, watching you go through life, and is always there to support you and encourage you and remind you that this isn't that you're not alone doing this, because otherwise life can be kind of isolating. And
so even as an individual, one is not alone.
Well, we're all connected, and we're all connected by the same energy, and and energy healing is what feeds that and what reminds you of that. And a lot of people that have gone through a lot of intense things in their life, if they haven't found healing from them, a lot of times we can kind of shut that part down, because it gets so we distance ourselves from it because we feel really defeated. And to be doing energy work and participating in that, having that done to you, or whether you're meditating in yoga or in a meditation using oils like frankincense, which raises your vibration. A lot of aromatherapy can heal different parts of your energy, but when you're open and flowing, you're connected, and that is a really amazing thing to know that you're always connected to a limitless source of energy. Is amazing. So
how does so deep relaxation is something else that will happen at the center. What's the importance of relaxation, and what is deep relaxation? Right. How does that fit in?
So your nervous system has two different parts to it. It has your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight. And that's activated when you are in situations like driving, when you are, talking to people, or like on in a conversation sometimes, or just like if something happens, that's intense or scary, or that gets activated, you'll feel your body switch. You'll feel your heart rate pick up, adrenaline will be released in your body, and these are just like natural reactions that happen, and you're not in control of any of them. That's just naturally what your body does. And then there's the parasympathetic nervous system, and that is your rest and relaxation. And that nervous system also regulates things like digestion. So any of your muscle tissues in your body that are linked to the parasympathetic nervous system, like breath, digestion, those basically are functioning properly when you're in a relaxed state. And when you're activated, they're not working. And so what happens for a lot of people, if they've had trauma, for example, your digestion system takes a huge hit from that, because it stops working, and a lot of times it won't start again in a certain area of your body unless you can process that. And so that's why in Japanese culture, all of your emotions are in your gut. They're not in your heart like they are here. In Western culture, we think of our hearts as our emotions, but really they lie in your gut. And so does...
So that's a more accurate way to think about it.
And so does 80% of your brain function as well. So like gut health is huge. And energy work can be amazing for people's guts. It's so funny. Whenever I'm doing like third chakra healing work, I just hear people's stomachs like go like... and I'm like, like, yay, it's working.
That's a sign.
And so that's deep relaxation. A lot of times people will get off the table and say, oh, it was like I was somewhere else, but I wasn't asleep. And I'm like, yeah, that's where you want to go. That's your happy place. That's your in between where your body is nourishing itself, it's healing itself. Because our bodies are capable of all of that. I mean, they're magnificent. They can heal like just about anything in your body it can handle, but we don't always treat our bodies with the respect that they deserve. So that's where they can get a little tricky. So so this is just a place where you can do at least something, which is always what I encourage people to do. At least do something for yourself. You don't have to change your whole life. Just change little pieces. Be good to yourself. Totally.
So we've got a pretty good idea of what it's all about then. There are multiple ways in which we can help you make money. Simply by turning up at Memory Lanes, for example, on June 11th. But is there a kind of crowdsourcing?
There is, we have a GoFundMe page. So if people don't want to go to any of the events or don't want to donate in cash, they can go online. And our URL is just gofundme.com/love spectrum wellness.
Okay.
And that's kind of like the hashtag for the whole thing. That's going to be the website for the actual wellness center when it's all up and running.
And you have a nice banner. And there it is.
We're doing the GoFundMe. We're doing the shows. People can book services with me. I mean, the more booked that I am now, the more money that I'm making right now as my business. That's just more money that I have to invest in opening up this new place.
Yeah. And so what will some of the investments be? So now that we're all on board with giving you money.
Right, where is it going?
Yeah,
totally. So all of the money that we get from this main donation, we're taking a small portion of it to pay for like t-shirts and totes to sell at events too, but that's just like a small chunk. That's just going to be like a few $100s or whatever, and then the rest of it we're saving to take to whichever bank we end up going with, and then using it as a investment for a loan, for an SBA loan, because our goal to bring to a bank is 25 grand. And we want to turn that into 3 times that, so that we can put all of that into build out, making sure that the space is functioning and fully ADA accessible, because accessibility is huge for us. Everybody needs to be able to be in the space regardless of their bodies or where they're at. And so we're using all of that money for rent payments, and this is all broken down on the GoFundMe site too.
Oh, great.
What we're using it all for.
Sure.
But it really is a huge undertaking. What I've been doing right now has just been renting a small office space that's just me, which is like super easy for me to afford each month and like keep running with the business that I have now. But I mean, what we have planned, it's like 3,400 square feet or like 3,600 square feet of space, and that's a lot of rent money. It's so much.
And when you say we, that's you and McKenna.
Yes, McKenna.
Okay, so what is McKenna's involvement?
McKenna is going to be, McKenna has been helping me so much with planning. McKenna was a holistic health and business major from the U of M. So and opening a wellness center has been her dream since she was very young, and so has it been mine. And when we became friends, we realized this like maybe like 2 months into us being friends, and just started screaming. We were just
but you'd always had the same dream. And then it made sense for each of you to do it together.
And so McKenna's going to be our first yoga instructor. And really, I mean, just McKenna's involvement in this so far, neither of us are making any money right now doing any of the planning.
I can relate to that.
So it's just been incredible having her be so on board and so like working so hard to do all of this, when like really we're investing in hopefully having this pay off for us in terms of being a real job one day for us both. And I know it will. It'll take time for sure, but this crowdfunding and this fundraising this is something that the community needs desperately right now.
It needs healing.
It needs this wellness center, there's nowhere else that you can go right now that's fully accessible, that offers the services that we're going to be offering, that is openly celebrating LGBTQIA plus people and BIPOC people. There's nowhere that really wants to welcome in everybody, regardless of what they have in their bank account, and there's nowhere that has there's nowhere else like this space. And I mean, almost every person that I've told about this has said like, oh, we need that. I'm like, yeah, I know. I want it like today. I want it to be open today. I want it to be the place that I show up to every day. And it is the place that I show up to every day in my job right now. But I want to give other people the opportunity to work at a place like that too. And that's really why this space is so important, is like the opportunity for jobs, the opportunity for not having people have to be so nervous going into an interview when they're trans, or you know, when their name isn't like a nice, you know, simple, or I mean really like a white name that's like a huge thing for people applying to jobs. And we don't really think about that. I didn't think about that ever until I had an interview when I was out as non-binary and told them, and they immediately just said like, oh, well, corporate wouldn't let us, you know, refer to you as with they them pronouns. And I was like, well, bye. Okay. I feel gross. I don't ever want anyone to have to feel like that. And they do a lot. And that's a really like common thing. And to have a place where we know that we can employ people and give them opportunities, and then give other people in the communities opportunities to be there just healing is an amazing thing. And so that's really why we're crowdfunding, just because it will happen eventually, like the longer that I'm open and the more money that I save as this business, but it'll happen so much sooner if we can just get the extra funding. Just any help.
Great, you heard that?
Any help.
We'll be helping. So we've been enjoying some footage from the previous Moon Palace show.
We have a Bluetooth selfie station at all the events.
Oh, that's
too.
true.
So you can take we have a little like, it's a fake photo booth, but it's really cute.
Here it is. I got some footage of it. And Mo took a selfie of Mo and myself. So long as Mo has sent that to me, then there it is.
There it is. Boom. Yeah, so that'll be at all the events. You can hashtag it, take pictures of them and videos and whatever. And yeah, that's the other great thing about these fundraising events, is that not only are we raising money, but we're informing people and letting them know that this is coming and it's happening and it's going to be awesome. So it's just really cool to see people excited. Yeah. I
learned a lot about the Wellness Centre and about wellness in general from the big boards, the informative boards that you had there.
I made those. I got my science fair dad hat on and
that was great.
Whipped up a little poster board.
A unicorn told me that I was special.
Yeah, it was great. And it's true, you are.
So you can hear it from the unicorn yourself. If the unicorn is invited next time.
Oh yeah, the unicorns will all be there.
Good.
All unicorns invited.